Okay, I want to be honest. I am recording this before the finale of Season 4. Unfortunately, the way my upload schedule works, it's kind of wishy-washy in terms of the day that the episode comes out. Now, I do want to talk about this, and even before the season finale and stuff like that, I want to talk about A-Train. A-Train has had a crazy redemption arc in Season 4, and frankly, it's been kind of a long, drawn-out thing, something that they've been setting up for a pretty long time. But I want to talk about why A-Train's redemption, or redemption arc, was truly a journey of rehabilitation as a character. Because his whole character got rehabilitated. And I'm not talking about when he was drinking the Fresca and when he's doing all that stuff. No. Because A-Train, he went through some horrible things. And mostly self-inflicted and mostly inflicted on other people. Don't get me wrong, he is not the victim. Now, with that said, I want to start from the very beginning. Or at least the very beginning that we actually see. And that's A-Train, unfortunately, making Robin a thing of the past, is what I'll say. I'm saying it in this way because actually my last boys video got age restricted. Yeah, fun tidbit. So Robin got made into a thing of the past, and Huey is extremely sad about this, and we know what that creates. Huey's whole complete Chad, complete utter the boys arc. We know all that. I'm not going to talk about Huey too much outside of the fact that he becomes kind of like a minor Chad. And then also the fact that he can bag some of the baddest girls, like that's crazy. But that's gotta be on the point. We all start with A-Train there, right? We know A-Train was at that point obsessed with Compound V, or using Compound V quite a bit. And it does enhance his powers quite a bit. And that's why, well, let's just say he couldn't stop, quote unquote, when running past Robin. But also it was his way of utilizing it for his own benefit. We knew that at the end of the day, A-Train needed this, or at least wanted it so badly that was his way of staying at the top, right? And this was proof in itself that A-Train needed a full rehabilitation as a person and a hero. I mean, it's literally thrown at us instantly. We know there's something wrong with A-Train. We end up finding out that it's Compound V, or him actually utilizing Compound V, but it is thrown at our faces that there is something wrong with him and that he needs a full rehabilitation. And like I said, as a hero, but also a person. Now, A-Train would continue doing this, utilizing Compound V, and this would allow him to hold the title of fastest man alive, or at least to an extent fastest man alive. We know Homelander's faster than him. Let's stop playing. But yeah, the fastest man alive in the eyes of the public. And this was his way of keeping his fame, his fortune, his notoriety, and it pushed him to basically off-screening or ending and putting away, let's just say, putting the love, or what we thought to be the love of his life, away on a giant vacation. We know that Popclaw, unfortunately, gets exited out of the boys show, is probably the best way to put it. And, well, she was supposed to be a big part of A-Train's journey, and a big part of his life in general. Like, this dude literally said that he really did care about her, like he loved her, and even eventually would blame Huey that it was his fault, that he did it. But even A-Train would admit later that, yeah, it was him, and it was really messed up. And yes, don't get me wrong, this was all ordered by Homelander, but it was to him, or to A-Train, a willing sacrifice. And he was willingly able to sacrifice someone that he absolutely loved, or at least what we thought we thought he loved to a large extent. And that's kind of the frame or the image we were seeing for a while, but he obviously chose the way he chose. Instead of choosing the way of love, he chose the way of fame, fortune, and notoriety by staying in the 7. That was his way of doing so, and that's what he kept doing. And this idea of staying face just continues on and on. Even getting kicked off the 7 temporarily, he still tries to stay face the entire time. I mean, we get a whole scene of him basically being racially profiled by a police officer. And I want to say this horrible thing to happen. That's terrible. And he was flat out saying, like sitting there saying, like, I'm the A train. Like, who do you think you are, right? Like, I'm the A train. I'm that dude. And that's the type of person he felt like he was. And he continued to go on this roller coaster where he would get absolutely torn down and then built right back up again. He felt like, oh, I'm on top of the world. And then he would get torn down again. And it's as if it symbolizes something and symbolizes his true rehabilitation or his true redemption, like we've been seeing in this season, right? At the end of the day, we all know that feeling invincible, or the feeling of it in general, at the end of the day can feel extremely good, but at the same time can lead to some very bad things. Shoot, even fame can make you feel this way. It can make you feel like you're on top of the world, but you can go crashing down just as fast, faster than you could possibly imagine. And it really took A-Train seeing what happened to his family to truly make the entire loop finish, right? He's in this constant state of, I'm fixing it, or I'm becoming a better person. No, I'm not. I'm becoming a better person. No, I'm not. And that was his journey of rehabilitation, right? You can call it redemption, but rehabilitation, in my opinion, is the better word for it. He kept going up and down. Oh, I'm on top of the 7. Now I'm not, right? Oh, I'm in love with this person. No longer am I. Like, I have to sacrifice you for the fame, for the fortune, all this stuff that I want, right? And he continues to do that over and over and over again until one thing, right? Until he sees what can happen to his own family. He realizes that the person who his nephews look up to isn't the person who they think he is, right? A-Train is not the person that anybody thinks he is. And his brother understands that, especially because he had to watch his brother get paralyzed. And that was a horrible thing. And that's exactly what A-Train's true next step was, right? He saw his brother get extremely hurt, and then it led him to wanting revenge, right? This is where he does misconstrue revenge, though, with justice. And this is just another part of the rehabilitation process that he had to go through and learn the hard way, right? He had to go through this extremely hard process in terms of the idea of, oh, is justice the same as revenge? Because when he takes out Blue Hawk and he runs him across the mile way or the highway and all of those things, he ends up, well, getting rid of him. And that's, for the lack of a better term, is getting rid of him. And even his brother is like, why did you do this? This isn't justice. What, you were just angry? Like, I'm angry too. I'm the one in a wheelchair. And it's something that is absolutely insane, and something that is very, very, very well done in The Boys. And I want to just walk back on the whole insane comment. I mean insane on the idea of that The Boys really hit it spot on. Like, it's insane that they were able to set that up so perfectly, in my opinion, because that's what a brother would be thinking. Hey, I just got humiliated and hurt in front of our entire community. I don't need you taking out this guy. I need you to expose him and help with the progress of never allowing this to happen to my community and my people ever again. That's what he needed to do, but he didn't do that. And the reason for it? Well, anger, could be a couple other things as well, but mostly anger, right? Once it happened to him and he had the powers to stop it, he wanted to stop it. He didn't want to go the heroic route. And that's what his brother is now instilling in him. The idea that he was never the hero. He was never heroic. He was never the person that could truly help people. All of his saves, every single last one of them, they were all fake. They were all doctored. They were all made up to make him look good and this and that and this. Yeah, all of it, right? But then we get to the final step. That low that he had with his brother shunning him, with his family shunning him, with all of these people telling him, you are not a real hero. You're not. Now all of that weighing on his shoulders, every last bit of it. His nephews, the one he looks up to, or the nephews that look up to him, the person he wants to be, the one that they can actually look up to and be proud of. That's the person he wants to be now. It always heavy on his shoulders. So when he crashes down, when he makes that dip and he starts doing bad things like what he did with Blue Hawk and like what he did with taking revenge, once he crashes down to that pit, now he goes right back up. And he could decide, do I continue the cycle? Do I continue this cycle of going up and down and up and down? Or do I go up? Do I do the things that my brother wanted me to do in the first place? Can I be heroic? Can I help those that need to be helped? And in season 4, that's exactly what we saw. We saw him save some Starlighters from actually being put in prison. And I know you might be saying, well, he did, partake in that setup. And you know what that setup entailed, the setup of those 3 Homelander people. But at the same time, he knew how bad it was. He knew. And maybe that was a little bit of that downhill spiral still. And then now him giving up that information, being the leak, is now his progress back up. Slowly but surely, that progress is accelerating. He helps with the Starlighters. That's one thing, right? He helps giving information where he needs to basically get it. And he continues to feed more and more information as the leak. And then it got to this, almost the very high point of it all, and truly the most adrenaline rushing thing probably for A-Train, and the most feel-good thing, when he's there standing with on the ground, Kamiko in front of him, and she shows him a book. She covers up the words and says hospital, turns it around and says, for the sake of his daughter. Now this act in itself would be proof of heroism, would be proof of being heroic. And A-Train, he might have scoffed, he might have not wanted to do it in fear for his own life, but he tells her, open the door, picks up and runs off, puts him on a gurney, and makes sure that he gets medical treatment. But when he looks up, he sees something. He sees a little kid. It might not be his nephew, it might not be his brother, it might not be, someone he knows. Just a random little kid looking in complete awe, in complete starstruck by a hero, by someone heroic, someone that is helping somebody right in front of them. And he's the only one that sees it. He's respecting the hero. He's in awe of the hero. He's making everything about that hero. He's staring at him like, wow, this is what I could be when I grow up. Wow, this is someone that truly wants to help people. Wow, this is somebody that truly loves and cherishes everybody on the planet and everybody in the community. The little kid is in complete shock and awe-inspiring. It's an awe-inspiring moment, and it's an inspiring moment and a motivational one for A-Train. Because that high, when he would go all the way crashing down and come all the way back up, that high point is that little kid looking at him and realizing that right there was a heroic moment and proof that A-Train, well, he can truly be a real hero. There's a reason why we call him Soups. It's a short name for superhero, but there is nothing heroic about some of these characters. From Homelander to the Deep to Stormfront, there's nothing heroic about any of them. That's why they are not superheroes, they are Soups. Now, Starlight herself, maybe you can lean toward more of the idea of superhero. And this moment right here was when A-Train felt in himself and felt all around that he was a superhero. That A-Train's journey of rehabilitation has finally led to his redemption. Now, what happens in season 4, the final episode? I'm not sure. But nonetheless, A-Train has my respect, and I'm sure he has a lot of yours. He's went through a lot. He's dealt with a lot, but he's also done a lot, and a lot of bad things. But redemption is not easy, and rehabilitation of one person and one hero is not even close to being easy as well. But as always, I would love to hear what you guys have to think. Do you think that A-Train's redemption was a true journey of rehabilitation? Do you think that A-Train's redemption was done well? I thought it was done pretty darn well, in my opinion. I thought it was, well, close to a freaking masterpiece, man. I think out of everybody there, out of every last hero and all that, I think A-Train's redemption story was one of, if not the best. Because honestly, he was just a messed up person. Messed up in the mind, and frankly was messed up with all of the stuff that, like I said, was surrounding him. The want for fame, the want for notoriety, and all of the above, it all sabotaged him. But now when he realized that all that truly mattered was being a hero, was when his true redemption story came to its own finale. Now I just hope that the character doesn't meet his finale in the finale of Season 4. Now with that said though, I hope y'all enjoyed. And if you enjoyed this video, well, make sure to leave a like and sub and leave a comment down below. And as always, if you liked this video, then YouTube believes that you'll like this one. So might as well go check it out. Later.